Here we go. I'm going to remember to play that when we go out, too.
Yeah.
Bittersweet, because now we are podcasting one more time next week, because remember we had a nice young lady. I said a guy last time. A nice young lady said she could listen to us podcast about anything.
Anything.
Said she will hear us talk about anything. So we're going to challenge that next week. We're going to come in and we're going to talk about nothing Walking Dead and everything else and see if she is entertained like she thought she would be.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'd like to touch on Preacher, maybe. That
I haven't seen it yet.
I told him after I got
I like
done.
where it's going. I like what they're doing with it.
I wasn't planning to watch it, but the first 10 minutes reeled me in, so I was like, well, I'm going to watch the rest of it, and now I'm really excited.
And I've read the graphic novel. It's really good. Because a long time ago, this has been in the works for a while. They've been
that's what JP was telling me, that it's been.
It was originally supposed to be on HBO, but they kind of canned that. So I wonder, you always wonder what kind of things HBO can
It was
do.
pretty gory. I mean, it's pretty gruesome to be AMC, which then again is we got The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's hard to top smashing brains in. But yes, Preacher, really good. In fact, I wouldn't mind doing a podcast on that.
And AMC needs another big show. They're running out of stuff.
I think Preacher could be it. If it keeps the momentum it had that first episode, it could be the next big thing. I mean, it's different, it's good, it's well acted.
But they need something in case ever since the Breaking Bad, ever since Breaking Bad,
the Breaking Bad
it's
show,
the Breaking Bad show starring Walter White. Let me just say this real quick. I watched Zootopia yesterday. And there's a part where somebody's working in a big yellow suit, and my roommate looked at me and said, it's kind of like Breaking Bad. And a guy gets on the phone and said, hey, yeah, Walter and Jesse are on break, so I'm in the office. And I was like, that's hilarious.
That is awesome.
So the kids have no idea what's going on,
but
we're just cracking up.
The cool
it was
parents
amazing.
Know exactly what we're talking about.
The parents that like their meth, they know what's up.
But Preacher, I love that. You're not going to probably like that they have the talking preacher.
Ugh, I didn't pay attention to that at all. Talking Preacher. Now they're just not even trying.
Yeah, oh no.
But anyway, as I was saying a minute ago, ever since Breaking Bad ended, they've been going more over the top shows, nothing that's really grounded in reality.
Well, it's like what was the other
Better
one?
Call Saul, but other than that,
what was the other one? The kind of futuristic ninja one.
Into the Badlands.
I watched it. It was okay, but I didn't get into it. I feel like I could with
built
Preacher.
It up too much in my head, I think.
Yeah, yeah. But Preacher, very good. If you didn't watch that, definitely try to catch up with it. I'm sure they'll replay the episode at some point during the week. I enjoyed it. But now on to the Fear the Walking Dead season finale.
And speaking of enjoying it,
Matt actually enjoyed it.
Whoa. Don't put words in my mouth.
Okay,
it was okay. I kind of enjoyed it.
You're just happy.
The internet could see the smile and the warmth that you had until I stole your
this
sentence.
Whole season, I'm just saying.
No, I thought it was good, but I do think that they're kind of I just feel like we've been here before with the fire and everybody's fleeing and the zombies were trapped in one area. It's
everybody breaking up into different groups.
It's like, okay, I remember this season 2 finale.
That's
of
what I've been
The
saying.
Walking Dead.
And we've all seen it before, but this was a well-acted episode. I enjoyed the character conflicts.
Yeah.
Between, what was Tomas's mother? Celia.
Oh, yeah,
Celia and...
Psycho Celia.
And just, oh, man, wow. Everybody did a really great job this. There was no crummy lesbian nurses or anything like that. So I don't have to worry about that.
And I think that Strand is actually starting to, I think he gives a crap. He definitely wants. I sounded so country when I said that. He gives a crap. But he definitely wanted, he's trying to get Madison to get in the truck with him. I think we're seeing a different Strand now that his lover.
Well, he's back to being Strand. That was great when he was digging that grave and Madison comes up and he's just like, of course she's got her hooks into Nick with her, homemade Mexican food and a pseudo-psycho religious babble, voodoo. Whatever he said.
That was a really good impression.
Very good impression.
Really good.
Between that and our Rick, we're just...
Yeah, dude. We could sell.
We could have an old timey radio show to where, remember, in the old days where they had the westerns with the sound effects, and it's into the mountains they rode, and it's gunshots fired, pew 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 pew.
Or we could do a puppet show for the kids.
No, that'd be interesting.
A Walking Dead puppet show.
Instead of shooting the zombies, they're just like.
Are you saying doing a puppet show while we're on the mics?
Yeah.
I don't even know how people would.
It would be just for us.
Now,
what if we had our own?
What
if we had our own puppet and we had to talk put the puppet.
I don't think you'd have to worry about masking your voice if we're doing this puppet show on the podcast because nobody's gonna. Yeah. Why are we even using the puppet? It's for us. Puppets are for us.
It's just for
so if you want to do that, if you want to hide your mouth moving while you're talking the puppet, you can do that.
And then you get you guys freaked out, and you'd be like,
"Stop!
Who is talking?
Who's doing that? Where is that coming from?
Is this really you?" But this episode was good, though. I feel like we've been here before, but I'm hopeful that it's setting up for some good zombie apocalypse
It definitely
drama.
is.
How long is this break going for?
Until
That's what
August.
I'm wondering.
Jeez. Until August. Season. Which you think about it though, it's not. It's really the end of May, so June, July, August. It's not that as big of a spread as you know. I mean, like The Walking Dead ends what? It starts in October. It goes to like November, December,
Yeah, they
and
like
then it takes a
November.
break until February. So it's like a 2-3 month break. It just sounds August sounds so far away, but I mean we're almost into June now.
I really wish The Walking Dead had episodes like most sitcoms do, where you have like a Christmas episode and a Thanksgiving episode and a Valentine's Day
Christmas-themed
episode.
episode.
Like, you know, like they dress up the zombies in like
They'll see like
Santa
a
hats and
Santa,
stuff.
yeah.
like a mall Santa.
Right.
The
And like
gang
some
has to
mall
defend
elves.
themselves against a mall Santa. Like that's the DirecTV little snippet at the top. You know, like every year there's a different Christmas episode. I just that
would be
It would be nice.
Screw
It
a
would.
continuing story, you know. Just have a
Oh, just take us out of the moment for a minute and just
Yeah.
be like, this is something that happened one Christmas ago.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I mean,
like
like make it a webisode of nothing else. I mean,
they
that'd be
get
really
visited by
cool.
Krampus.
Oh man, I started watching that.
Me too.
Who is
I got
Krampus?
about halfway through. and I
Keyword
fell
started
asleep.
watching
Yeah, I
it,
fell
yeah.
asleep when the girl was
Krampus?
under the truck.
Yeah, I've never heard. Who Krampus?
He's the evil Santa, basically.
It's like
He's an
is it like
evil
a
Santa?
German kind of folklore?
It's like kind of, I guess, what Santa's somewhat.
he basically kills and destroys the naughty kid.
I thought
Right.
that was Black Peter. I thought Black Peter was the one that
thought you
came
were-
for the
I don't know who Black Peter is.
a similar concept.
Why do we
apparently.
always talk about Black Peters when you're around?
Hey,
Hey,
I talk about what I love.
It's good. What? No, but seriously, what is Black Peter?
Same
Tell us
thing.
about
he,
this
he-
Black Peter.
He comes after the naughty kids. I think he cuts off their thumbs too.
What?
But yeah, I think so.
And why is he called Black Peter? Is he just like a shadow or
Well, black signifies like
easy
naughty.
now? Easy now.
I'm just
Okay.
what I didn't make the. It's
That
not
is
up to
true.
me. It's not up to me.
That's true.
Black Peter.
Black Peter. There's also like Black Adam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, The Rock is going to
Shazam.
play him.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's going to be like it's going to be a DC movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's like an anti. It's gonna be the new 52 one. Like he's like an anti-hero kind
Right.
of thing. You know, vigilante.
but you know, last episode we had said we had pondered, will Travis have to kill Chris?
I
And
love it when we
had
ask
to.
the right question.
Right, and that
I know.
really came to light this episode. I thought Travis was going to have to like strangle his scrawny ass right there in the desert.
swiping at him.
I mean,
Whoa.
like, you know, nothing but love for your kids, but and I don't have kids, so I guess it's different for me.
that you
speaking-
know of.
Right. That is.
That's what
very
I tell
true.
people. You have any
Very
kids
true.
yet? Not that I know of.
Not that I know of. But I mean, imagine once they try to end your life, that's when the connection kind of is cut loose. No pun
Yeah.
intended. You're just kind of like,
And then he's like, "It's okay. We can do therapy. It's okay."
yeah, let's
It's
just
like,
go
no,
find
bro.
a
Some
frickin-
nature walk to find your spirit animal.
Your
is not
psycho
gonna cure your
son. We need Carol. Carol would have just
Oh
told
my
me
God.
to go look at the cactus.
Nice.
and then shot him in the
Nice.
back of the head.
Just look at the cactus.
But yeah,
Just look at the
if I had to
cactus.
choose between babysitting a Christian and going back home to Madison, that's no decision at all.
Oh, I'm going back to Madison.
That's what
I'll
I'm
go back to
saying.
Madison. I'd
Madison
choose that
doesn't
too.
swing at you with a knife
And
Well,
unless you ask
I mean,
it
and
to.
your
Yeah, there you go.
your son, he stood over your wife and her daughter as they were sleeping with a knife.
fine ass wife and her fine ass daughter.
Then ran off. All right, and
That
then
was
you
so
find him in
weird.
a guy's house with holding his son gunpoint. At that point, there's no return for your son. I mean, I really hate Chris, and I'm sure the actor's a really nice guy.
Everybody hates Chris.
Everybody
Yeah,
hates
there we
Chris.
go.
But I'm sure the actor's a really nice guy. But even his face, he doesn't have
There's
that
something
likable.
about his
looks
face
menacing.
that I just
He
don't.
doesn't have that likable appearance.
That's
You know what I mean?
probably what they're going for when
Yeah.
they were casting him. And maybe he has a nice face,
That's
but he's
gotta
kind of
be, you know,
scrunching it up or making a
as
weird
you go
face.
into Hollywood, it's got to be kind of like a downer, though. It's like, you got the part, and you're like, that's awesome. Yes, you have the type of face everyone's going to hate.
Denise.
All right, well, I'm glad I got the part, I think.
Hey, they're getting paid, I guess.
Yeah, I guess he's like, hey, I'm sure he probably made a couple $100,000 off of it. I don't know if I'd say he probably got into the millions.
I don't
it's
know
not
if
that
the
big
show
a
is. Yeah, I don't even know if they probably made. I mean, the older ones probably could have made around 20,000 an episode. I don't know if the show is up to that par.
Yeah.
If
I know
it
like
would've been a
Norman
big
Reedus
hit.
and Andrew Lincoln make like $1 million or
Yeah.
right at it or somewhere.
But they have the ability
you know,
to
but-
demand that.
Oh,
you know?
absolutely.
It's like, hey, you can't have a show without Daryl or Rick. You know, well, I
Yeah.
mean, you could, but I don't know how it would be. The fans would.
Bring
You
in
can basically
Matthew
demand it,
McConaughey. Swap out our Ricks.
Then you'll be paying
Who would
$1
play a
million
good
episode.
Daryl? I know that's a little off subject. We said we said back in our earlier podcast talking about The Walking Dead that Matthew McConaughey could
He'd be
possibly
Rick.
sub in for Rick. who could sub in for Daryl?
Like a big name celebrity?
Yeah, like who do you think you could sub in if Norman Reedus, knock on wood, hope he doesn't, was tragically struck down ahead of his time or just walked off the show, was like, I'm done, what have you. Who do you think they could throw in there to kind of, because they do that on Game of Thrones, they've swapped out a character and it actually flowed fine. So, and I don't think it'll flow as easily.
They did it on Spartacus.
Yeah. So who do we think could swap out for Norman Reedus?
Jeez.
That's hard to think. Like, especially in Hollywood, someone who's like gritty like that.
Yeah.
Maybe Stephen Dorff.
Who's Stephen Dorff?
He played what's the guy? The main villain from the first Blade movie. He's in all those blue cigarette commercials. Stephen Dorff? No.
Man, I've got a picture in my head. I don't know if it's him though. I think the guy from My Name Is Earl. I think Earl would be
Jason Lee.
Yeah.
Huh. He's too busy with those Chipmunk movies. Dude. He plays Dave in all the Chipmunk movies.
So you think he's too soft at this point?
I think he's too soft to play that role. And you got to think of someone that's chiseled and redneckish. You know
who
could be,
who I could see as
Matthew McConaughey in a dual role. Well,
Jonathan Frakes, the guy who played Lieutenant Commander Riker in Next Generation.
Yeah.
You know who I could see playing Negan?
Who?
Gareth Dillahunt.
Oh, jeez, you're still hung up on
Who's
that.
on?
that he didn't get.
It's okay. He's got work. He's on the Mindy Project, which is on Hulu.
That's still going on.
Hulu bought it, so now it's on
Okay.
Hulu this season. Yeah.
I just don't. I'm
happy for him. I'm
I
glad
have
he's
to.
at work.
I have to admit, when she was on The Talking Dead, I tweeted several mean things about
Mindy
her.
Kaling?
Mindy gets on my nerves.
Yeah.
I liked her on The Office.
I don't
but-
find her.
I respect her tenacity when it comes to the
Right,
business
I
and
respect
being
that
a
she
writer,
writes a
but
lot
yeah,
of her
I don't-
own
not a
stuff,
fan of
yada
her
yada yada.
acting
But I don't
style.
think she's that funny. Let her some people are better just to write and let others take it and be funny.
She has
with
like the
it,
bitchy girl kind of thing.
Yeah, it's just
down,
like
but
I just
still
have
like
never
that.
really found her that funny. And let me think before we get back to Fear the Walking Dead. Because and listeners, please comment. Who do you think could be Daryl? And please don't give us the cliche. No one can do it, but Norman Reedus, obviously. But we're saying it like it's like one of those times when you're like, would you do so and so or so and so? Oh, I just wouldn't do either. It's like, this takes the fun out of it. Give us
do both.
right. Give us someone you think could take over the Daryl role if for some reason Norman Reedus was to leave. Because that's an interesting thought, because he's really just made that role his own, even more so than anyone else has done that in the whole show.
Man, I'm trying to think of somebody. What about Emil Hirsch?
Emilio Estevez.
Emil Hirsch. That sounds familiar too. What
He's
was he?
Into the Wild.
Right. Gotcha.
Because he's got a good wide range.
He's versatile.
The
that he
girl
can
next
play.
door. Now, was he the main character?
Yeah,
The kid?
Yeah, he was the kid. Like
Oh, he was an
tripped on
alpha dog,
acid.
too.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. If you can do something like Girl Next Door and Alpha Dog and Into the Wild, he's done all sorts.
And
of
he's
stuff.
a little bit older now than
He's
he
gotta
was
be
when it came out. So yeah,
30s, maybe.
that's probably like late 30s. He could do that because Norman Reedus is 50, but I think they're portraying Daryl to be like maybe 40.
Yeah, probably late 30s. They all kind of have aged a lot in the 5-6 years that the zombie apocalypse.
Oh
has been
yeah,
going on.
especially like Steven Yeun too. You look at him, Glenn. I mean, Glenn looks so young in season 1 or 2, and now he looks like a grown man.
And that's the zombie apocalypse because Asian people don't age for like 60 or 70
know.
years. Like they just look beautiful for 60 years.
I think they have a lot more collagen in their skin. I think
Is
I read
how
that
that
somewhere.
works? Is that
I
like a
think so.
natural thing? That's pretty
I
cool.
think so.
Man, I wish I had a little Asian in me.
Yeah.
That didn't sound right.
Yeah. I was gonna say my pal
I
RJ.
hope my roommate doesn't hear that. That would be bad.
My pal RJ Gomez lives about 15 minutes away. He stared at my wiener one time when we were kids, so he might be into
your
that
Black
kind
Peter.
of thing. You know,
Did you look at your Black Peter?
It was black when he got done with it. Let me tell you.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Why is that sound effect appropriate?
He sounded happy about what he just said.
I guess you're right.
Oh.
Man.
JP
So
looks
speaking
like
of Black Peters,
Uh-huh.
I don't know how I was trying to find a segue.
Anyways,
Strand.
Krampus. I fell
There we
asleep
go.
watching
Oh,
Krampus.
yeah,
Is how we get into all of that.
you
But
got it.
anyways, Strand. I really.
He's dealing with a lot right now. I kind of like where he's going with it.
Oh yeah,
He really did care for Tomas.
He did.
really
We
cared
think
for
he
him.
did.
At this point, what's he got to lose to act like
Yeah,
it?
I guess.
With his mother
I
as
guess,
well. I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, what's he trying to...
Yeah, I guess he
Prove-
couldn't hide anything.
And he came and
It
got...
coulda- you know what? It could have been, though, he never really loved him until after he had to kill him, and now he's kind of regretting
never
his
know.
actions of getting Tomas involved. So it wasn't like he necessarily loved him as so much as he regrets how things played out. I don't know. I like to look into things more than.
And he did go back and pick up Madison.
Yeah, he's the captain again, man.
That was so weird.
Back together.
That whole situation with when Madison sees Nick, because first of all, he's in this episode. He's like the equivalent of that kid that 10 years ago we played D&D together, but now like we're both adults with jobs, but he still just walks around in his D&D costume.
Yeah,
they're like, why are you doing that? You're like, I'm one of them.
Yeah,
like they're no, dude, stop. You just have to stop. Like he's just wearing that blood all the time.
The blood.
Like
man.
he goes, like, he takes a shower and who takes a shower and then puts their clothes on their wet body?
Yeah,
like that's the most awful feeling ever.
It really is.
So that took me out. I saw that and I was like, why is he doing this in front of his mother? Like this is not.
Oh, him and his mom have a weird relationship. He's held her in weird ways, and it's just odd. Nick, I really was hoping was going to be the sane one. I thought he saw the world for what it was. Not like I said, I didn't think I think he saw it to where you don't have to be evil, you don't have to be good, you just survive. And then now he's, all...
There's so much flip. That's why I thought with Daniel. I thought he'd be a rock through this whole thing.
So we assume he's dead.
I'm guessing. I'm glad we're getting to that.
Or now has a bad case of fire crotch. One of the two.
Yeah. Can you give yourself an applause?
Let's see. Let me find an applause. Oh, there it is.
Daniel has fire crotch. Yay. That was good. I enjoyed that. Did you think about that when you saw it, or did you think of that just now?
I swear on everything I love, I just thought of it now.
That was good. I'm proud.
Because I just remember the fire went between his legs.
It did.
But I don't know. Either he's alive or he's going to be very, very crispy the next time we see him.
I think he's done for.
Oh, yeah. And what if he comes back as like a really crisp...
psycho villain.
Yeah, or a zombie.
Like
a crisp zombie.
Oh, yeah. Very true. Very true.
I don't understand. And then why was he going crazy all of a sudden?
It is.
They haven't built up to that at all.
He heard the voice when Jesse McCartney had gotten killed. Mm-hmm. He heard the voice then, I think, was around the time we first heard it. But, it just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, that was kind of rushed.
And then, I know that his ghosts are haunting him from his past, but it really seemed to be more like just his wife was the main thing haunting him. And
so I don't know.
That just
I want to learn more about that backstory too. I think that was totally too rushed.
I don't understand why they did that either. Why they left it. If he does survive, I don't understand how that's possible.
Mm-hmm.
That
they
fire
kept him
was
standing there.
Oh yeah, he stood there.
Any minute I expect him step over and walk. Nope, just stood there.
Just stood there as the fire got closer and closer. The second that Madison and what's the psycho
Latino
Celia
Mama, yeah,
Latina, that's what we'll call it. Madison and Latino Mama walked into the. I thought that she was going to try to lock Madison in there, but then as I saw Madison inching back, Madison's cold blooded, man. Like she just doesn't care. She'll do what she's got to,
I want to see Celia just get ripped apart, man. That was a big payoff. I thought we got cheated out of.
Yeah, we didn't even see like a dead zombie Celia, right?
I guess you assume she got consumed.
That might have been what they were eating when she.
A lot. I don't like it.
No, because that must have been what they were eating. I guess when Daniel came around the corner, they were eating on like some fresh, but they were eating on fresh stuff when
they walked in to begin with.
Celia, and so maybe Celia was hiding behind a barrel or something, and as soon as
and I don't get why. When Nick, when it was Nick and Madison, when he was like, I'm staying or whatever, I'm going off or whatever, and he was like, did you kill her? Or did you lock her in there? Whatever, whatever. Yeah. I don't understand why she just didn't lie.
Oh yeah, I'd have been like, I don't know what happened to Celia.
Just get in the truck. What is wrong with you?
Or just be like Daniel flipped out and burned everything down, which wouldn't even be a lie,
right?
Just don't divulge that you murdered Celia,
right?
Just kind of keep that under your hat.
Truth,
yeah.
You're not lying. It's like, where's Celia? I don't know, because you don't know.
She's got to be back at the house.
And Daniel caught everything on fire. Hey, you telling the truth. She didn't watch her get eaten. I don't assume. Maybe she did. I don't know.
I'm really disappointed in Nick. You'd think, regardless of how he feels, he'd want to stick with his family, take care of his sister, his mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just wants to be out on his own.
Yeah. What's up with that?
It makes sense, though, and I do like that in the story writing aspect, like what Strand had said, though. It makes perfect sense. He's a former drug addict. He needs something to latch on to.
Yeah.
And now, Celia's kind of giving him this thought process that he can now infatuate himself with. And that's the way people with addictive personalities are. Like, when they get into something, whether it be drugs, podcasting,
right?
A certain belief system, religion. They get into it, and that's kind of the way I think he is. And I think he's just trying to go for this lone wolf. They're not evils, he's kind of got sympathy for the zombies. To which I just will never understand how anyone can.
Yeah, it's just really, I like to just like cover himself in guts.
They try to eat you, man. I don't care if they're just sick people or not. If a not sick person tries to bite me or eat me, I'm going to still shoot you in the head. Or at least do something. I mean, so I don't really care if they're infected or not. They try to eat you.
I mean, yeah, it's an us against them situation.
And then he's also thinking about when Madison says, "What do you want me to call them?" And he's like, "How about their names?" It's like, what? What?
Now
you're zombies. How? What?
All right, Socrates, just sit back for a second. You're trying to be trying to pull philosophy in situations where philosophy is just not necessary.
That was a little much.
I'm pretty sure, Socrates or any of the greats would be like, when Thoust is about to get eaten by another person, Thoust has the right to destroy that dome piece. Anything. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's how it would be written,
I think Socrates said that.
Right, like it's written in stone, chiseled.
Dome piece.
Dome piece, exact words. I mean, they don't need philosophy. They're trying to eat you, man.
Yeah, stab in the head.
If you feel that,
man. A couple seasons from now, Nick could totally be like the leader of the Whisperers in the Real Walking Dead series.
Oh, absolutely. He would fit into that.
He's digging that
group.
whole scene.
That would be pretty cool.
Start a whole colony of skinwalkers.
That whole Madison becoming the leaders, the alpha, I don't see that near as much as like Nick.
That would be cool, and that's always a possibility. Because if this show doesn't really take off,
they might have to cross it over if they want to keep it
and put some of the characters from that show into The Walking Dead somehow.
And a lot of people are like, I hope they don't. I would love to see a crossover. I think it would be cool as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, me personally.
Matt, I'm sure you're excited. I just read about the CW doing a massive crossover with their 4 DC shows.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff, though. Yeah. That's a lot. It's like Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, Flash, and Supergirl. Because Supergirl's going from CBS to the CW.
You keeping up with all of those?
No. The only thing I kept up was Flash. I watched the one episode of Supergirl that the Flash was on, and it was just a terrible show. There was one funny point where they're all standing around, and Callista Flockhart says, "What are you all standing around like a bunch of... like kids from a CW show or something." She said something along those lines, and it was really funny.
Clarissa Flockhart's in that show?
She's like the editor of some magazine that Supergirl works for.
Huh.
Harrison Ford's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
She's real skinny.
She is very, very, like, she looks like a bobblehead almost. Yeah. Like, she's very skinny.
Bobblehead hoe?
How's that Milky Way?
You know what? I'm saving it for tomorrow.
Oh, that's wow. You have a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Strength.
I'm skipping the gym today.
Patience.
So I'm skipping the gym. So I'm just gonna leave this here.
That's nice.
You missed out on the Starburst, pal.
No,
good Starburst. Yeah.
Oh, they were the favorites. They were the pink and the reds. All the different versions.
Because I was just getting ready to say
it was like regular pink and reds, and then it had a few like alternate versions, like the tropical pink and reds.
Get out of town.
Hey, you can go to Walgreens right now and get 3 of them for $2.
Get out of town.
Yep.
It's $1.50 a piece.
Yep.
No, that's not right at all. 75 cents a piece.
There you go.
My math is. I was dividing and multiplying.
My math was terrible when I went to college, and you do your little assessment test, and they were like, your English, your reading, your history, yada yada yada, off the charts. Don't worry about any of this. And they were like, but your math. I mean, I started college taking I'm like, this is bullshit. Why am I taking pre-algebra?
At least you'll never be. At least you'll never be as dumb as Carl.
I'm sitting there with high school kids, that are like, I'm 17. I'm here for blah blah. And they're like, this is a dual enrollment class for me. I'm like,
right.
I'm just here to. I'm really here to guard the class. I'm actually with the police.
Yeah, it makes me sad. Judith will never get to enjoy Milky Way, Starburst.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people don't take that into account when they think of the zombie. Number one, I think anyone that's like, I wish the zombie apocalypse would really happen is a...
Why would anyone ever say that?
That's horrible. That means in order to get zombies, you want lots and lots of people to die.
Yeah, but Judith she'll never have to worry about high fructose corn syrup, though.
That is true, but I like high fructose corn syrup.
Probably less of a chance of diabetes with not nearly as much sugar going around. Probably less of a chance of cancer because there's not going to be so many hormones and things.
Cancer will always be around.
I'm sure it will. But, a lot, they think that,
I think it's an even trade-off. No cancer or diabetes for a zombie apocalypse.
Right. Oh,
that's a pretty even...
I don't wish to death on people, but I mean, hey,
some people. Let's not, get too crazy here.
It's
some people I would gladly like to see get torn apart and eaten.
Like whoever's idea it was to leave season 6 on a cliffhanger. Yeah. I wouldn't mind them being, what is it, tied and drawn? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Set each arm and each leg to 4 different horses.
Oh, Lord.
Dude, there's this guy, I don't know if this is his name or not, but it's like 999 something.
Did you say no in German 3 times?
999.
Easy.
It's 999. Like match something. I don't know, but this guy, like seriously, and I'm not making fun of the dude at all, but like every day or every other day since that finale, which was the first weekend in April, this guy makes a video. Make a Path presents. I think no, that's not him. It's 999 something. Anyway. Puts out a video like every day or every other day about like why it now needs to be Michonne that died or why he thinks. I mean, this guy is analyzing the shit out of this.
And I guess that's what they want, the show writers want.
Oh,
but at
I'm
the same
sure,
time,
but it's like, damn, dude, give it a rest. You know, like take a break, breathe, you know, analyze the story more so than going straight after because it keeps looking for clues in the scene. And I'm like, I really don't think they put that many. I mean, I'm sure there are clues that we, but I don't think they put as many clues as some people are analyzing it. They're like, watch the position of this tree. And I'm like, I really don't think they put that much into it because how can you film it in that way and the actors not know who's going to be the one to die?
Right. Like they didn't even know who they were going to kill when they filmed that originally.
Like I understand like the point of view shots I think had some relevance because we kept seeing point of view shots from in the back of the truck and then the person that died we saw a point of view. So there are things I think that match up, and it's sure, but I mean, some people are just like going so into it. Now, the shadow thing I think is pretty concrete because that would be really bad filming, like to show the shadow go across Rick's left side, without maybe they'll film it and show him go, and we just didn't see him come back or something. But if you just leave it like that. But I mean,
I haven't heard about this.
It's still people, and I'm glad that we at least have skipped a few episodes before we've gotten back around to it because some people are just. That's where I was going with the whole 999 thing. They're like, some people are just out there analyzing the crap out of this.
Yeah, like you said, to the point where it doesn't need to be analyzed that much.
You're like, dude, I don't think they put that much thought into I really, honestly. It wouldn't shock me if they didn't even halfway know who they were going to kill.
Oh, I believe that 100%.
Waiting to see who people thought the most. Like, nobody is really pointing much. This guy that does, but no one's really pointing much to. Nobody's pointing to Carl except for me and JP. And JP pretty much convinced me. So it's really JP why I think it's Carl. Or Michonne or like the main two.
You don't see that? No,
dude.
Carl?
That's what I found clues. I know this is Fear the Walking Dead, but if you like Fear the Walking Dead, honestly, you're probably like Matt. You'd probably rather talk about The Walking Dead than Fear the Walking Dead. Let's look at this. Carl picked up the pistol that actually had the bat with the barbed wire wrapped around it. He actually, in the armory, after they had raided one of the outpost, Carl picked up the handgun that Negan later took back from him and put in his belt. And it has a bat with the barbed wire wrapped around it, engraved into the handle.
Interesting.
2, they mention that a 16-year-old, they watched Negan beat a 16-year-old to death with a baseball bat.
At the Hilltop.
Already mentioned that at the Hilltop when they were first telling him about who Negan was. All right, so 2 clues towards Carl. Number 3, the Shadow, and that's one of the few things, like I said, I will hold him credit for because, I mean, how are you going to have the Shadow clearly go this way and then be like, oh, well, no. But the Shadow goes across Rick's left right when he gets to it, and on that side is
Aaron,
Sasha, Carl,
Eugene.
and Eugene. If they killed either Sasha or Aaron, I would just say I'm done
Sasha,
with this
or
show.
Eugene.
And if they kill Eugene, I could see them doing that because it's like we like him, but it's not
show changers.
Right. No, I don't think at all it's a big game changer. However, Carl is over there, and everybody goes, but he said if anyone moves or blah, 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 cut the boy's other eye out, feed it to his father. But here's what gets me, and he did say it in the comics too, but the way he's like, anybody moves, anybody says anything, cut the boy's other eye out, feed it to his dad, and then we'll start. Basically saying, I'll cut his eye out, feed it to his dad, and then beat him to death with a baseball bat. Basically just showing how brutal he is. Dude, and here's my 4th thing that I'll close with this, and then we can get back on topic because I am way off. They asked, in the comics, Negan and Carl have a very interesting relationship, like almost like they're best friends. But
I
Carl
read that
wants
article.
to kill Negan.
Yeah,
they asked him. They said, "So are we going to see this?" And they're like, "Well, Carl and Negan will have an intense moment. We'll say that Carl and Negan will have." And I'm paraphrasing, but they're like, he'll have a very intense moment with Negan. It might not necessarily be Carl that we see with that relationship dynamic, but yes, we will definitely see the Negan relationship, but it could be with someone else. Because when they asked him, he's like, yes, and yes, we will be exploring that type of relationship. So, I mean, what more is an intense moment other than a guy beats you to death with a baseball bat, and then they'll take someone else and do it? I mean, I
think it'll definitely be Ingrid. I think once Ingrid finds out that he bashed in Carl's skull, she's going to, stow away in one of his trucks, mow down a bunch of his guys with a machine gun, and and then
it won't be it won't be as creepy with that relationship, because we know, if you watch the comics, I'm sure they'll do it in the show, Negan is very against sexual crimes. Like, he's not a child molester. He's not a rapist. I mean, none of that is in his forte. So it's not like, he's trying to hook up with this little girl. And it's cool that they're shooting all of the Negan scenes, they said. They're shooting a lot of them twice, with F words and without. So, like, when you get the DVD or maybe watch it on Netflix, the F word, you can get the unedited version where Negan, like this finale, is going to have a version available, I believe, where you can hear him throw the F-bomb in, which, as you know, is a lot. So, yes, I'm on the Carl train because I want that kind of game changer. I don't want Carl to die.
The way you talked about it just now, that would be really cool.
But, man, I mean, you're talking about an unhinged Rick. And I don't mean Lori died crazy Rick. I mean just a Rick that, other than Judith, I mean, he's just like, he has no change, I mean, his whole thing has been trying to raise Carl the right way and yada, yada, yada. You could really explore with that. And to see Glenn survive and carry on into the Negan story would be awesome.
I think some sweet loving from Michonne would bring him back. It would bring me back. I know that much.
If they kill Michonne, I'll just be devastated.
Oh yeah, I can't survive that.
Like, not my sweet little Michonne. Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, then again, it very well could be, because I mean, I don't know, but I'm really on the Carl thing. My dad's like, you change your mind? I'm like, I haven't changed my mind since I decided it was Carl. I'm like, I first thought it was Glenn, then I thought maybe Daryl, but now that I'm looking at him, like, dude, Carl. Yeah,
you were hardcore Daryl there for a good little while.
Yeah, I had thought it for a while, but then I think the writers just realized that everyone started thinking that way, and they were like, that's too obvious. Everyone thinks it's going to be Daryl. Let's do it Carl. What better way to establish this is not a guy to be screwed with than to kill the son of Rick Grimes?
It's got to be something. I mean, I just don't understand how good it can be.
If it's Eugene
they're like,
or Abraham.
we just hope that if you watch the season finale, it's going to be a payoff. For those who watch the season finale, when you watch season 7 premiere, it's going to be a big payoff and all this. And it's like, really? Like, aren't you just saying that because you want people to stick by it?
Oh, yeah. Well, and then it'll be somebody like Eugene, Abraham, Sasha, Rosita, one of these no-name characters. She's like, how is that worth the wait, man? Like, I mean, if it comes back and, like, the first view we see is that bat smashing into Carl's head, it will be like, people will be speechless. It'll be like, oh, my God. Even though JP and I think it's Carl, even when it happens, we're not going to be believing it.
Oh, I'm telling you, man. It's going to be heart-wrenching.
But anyways, back to Fear the Walking Dead. Really like this episode. I don't know what else much we can say about it.
I think we've covered all the big things.
Yeah, we've got Strand, Madison, and what's
Alicia?
Her? Alicia. And Ophelia's with them, right?
Ophelia.
And we predicted she was going to die. I'm impressed that she survived.
Yeah, and I figured, I like Daniel, so I figured he would die.
Yeah. So we got them together, and then we've got Travis, like a dumbass, is with his psychotic son who's already tried to kill him and held a kid at gunpoint.
Yep.
And tried to kill his wife and stepdaughter.
Yep.
He's off with him, wandering through the desert, I guess looking for a psychiatrist. And then you've got, we assume Daniel's dead, or else very Two-Face looking right now. He's going to come back with half his face missing.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Is the Abigail still out there?
Yeah,
they don't know that we don't know.
Oh, that's right. That's where they're headed, but they don't know.
He said a time or two, like, if they're like, where are you going to go now? And he's like, I'm going to go to the boat, if there's a boat.
Yeah, if there's a boat.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that those people didn't just leave that nice boat just sitting there.
I would have left somebody watching the boat. Somebody needed to be on the boat.
I'm sure, the people at that place probably confiscated it or like gutted it. And to be honest with you, I hope the boat's not there, or I hope it's like gone. I don't want to go back to another season on the boat. It's like Herschel's Farm, man. It's cool, but I don't want to be there an entire season again. The boat was cool, but there's not so much. Let's stick to land. Let's see what's going on in Mexico. I mean, we've seen what's happening in the U.S. Let's see what's happening in Mexico.
That'd be cool.
See how Mexico's dealing with this thing.
It's even warmer.
Oh yeah,
and sparser population.
They're going to be mummified.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, true. When you're in the desert, I mean, it really shouldn't be that big of a. It's, But let's see. So there's really no other survivors much from her compound. I mean, we had a few people, but no one really important.
I thought it was pretty cool. They revealed that that was all the hired help that was in that compound. It wasn't like the landowners or whatever. It was all the help. Yeah, she was like a maid and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
like the servants kind of took over and
overthrew
kind of like Slaver's Bay in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Some parallels there. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to get back on the boat. Like, I do not want to be back on that boat unless they know where they're going and like the episode starts with them getting on the boat, and then we just have like a music montage like we did with the governor, and it's like they just shows them travel back to America, wherever they're going to go. Because I'm just not filling that boat.
Yeah.
I tell you what I could do, though. I could definitely listen to Victor Strand read the alphabet. That dude's voice is freaking awesome, man. Being in the line of work where I have to listen for people's voices, dude, his voice is like on point.
Velvet.
I mean, it's so smooth. I see how he won Tomas over.
Yeah.
Was it Tomas or Thomas?
I don't know. I think it depends on who you are and where you're from.
Because Tomas, we've already had a Tomas in the Walking Dead world.
I said Thomas a lot last podcast, but then since then I was like,
Tomas was the one that Rick put the machete through his forehead.
Oh man, I totally forgot.
Originally,
that
he
dude's
was
name.
Thomas in the comics. They were basing him off the psycho with the glasses that decapitated Herschel's daughters. But in the show, he was Tomas. He was a real small mouth. Just again, one of those faces you just don't like.
Yeah.
And then Rick put a machete in his brain because he, tried
Had
to
to
let
be
it
done.
down.
deserved it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm glad Strand's back to normal, calling the shots.
Yeah, I like I said, I really like Strand. I'm glad he's not dead. I thought they were going to show his whole thing and then just kill him and be like, all right, we're done with Strand. Now on to these far less interesting people. I mean, and Strand's a pretty buffed guy too. He's out there. And he's got the smooth vocals and he's buff. I mean, he's going to be.
He's in great shape.
If he decides he wants to be straight, he's going to have the ladies. Whatever ladies, men, whatever.
It's
he
true
wants.
because he's also a gay man, so he's got style.
Oh, yeah.
and
I think
good
he's just
taste in
taking
things,
whatever
yeah.
comes along. I think he'd throw it at Madison.
I'm going to crack this door a little bit. Is that okay? It's getting a little stuffy.
No,
we'll hold off. I'll hold off.
So we've got a news
I'll hang
reporter
out
in
with
the
you
other
guys in
room.
here. Oh, okay.
We're sweating
doing
it out,
news
pal.
reporter things.
Yeah.
And we got to say congratulations to JP on his first ever
Yeah.
stand.
Yeah.
Very proud of him.
You guys, I did some dirty wordplay, and it was Justin's watched it. He enjoyed it.
I
Ned,
enjoyed it.
I would like
Nice.
some notes from you
I'd like to
because
watch it,
you are a thespian.
Well, thank you. I
And plus,
appreciate
your opinion means a lot to me.
Yeah, man.
If I had to comment or compare him, and then of course you don't want to be compared to anyone, but if I had to say the type of humor, I want to see if you get it. I told him I could see him. And he said it was more due to just it was his first time,
I was
so he was kind of
nervous.
rushing
I was
through.
real nervous.
But it was very kind of Robin Williams-ish. You know how Robin Williams will like four-piece you with jokes, and it's like if you're not really paying attention, you'll be like,
I was running through
what
it
is
way
this?
too
But if you
fast.
actually are paying attention, you're like, oh, snap. Oh, damn, that was slick. That type of thing. So,
I want to see that. Yeah, it's good.
I enjoyed it. I was very proud. I'm like, look at him.
My two papas are proud of me, even though Matt's not proud because he hasn't watched it yet. But you will be.
I'm
Dad.
always proud
very
of you,
proud.
son.
I mean, just the fact that I went through with it, man.
Just the fact that
Oh,
you
no
did
doubt.
it.
Yeah.
No doubt. And you got in front of other comics is the thing. Those are some of the most critical people.
Yeah, and I got
in
great
the world is
feedback.
other
Like the
comedians.
House Comics, they were like, "Man, you need to keep coming back. You need to keep getting
For
better."
those listeners that may be somewhat near us here on the East Coast, where was it at? Again,
the Idiot Box in Greensboro, North Carolina.
so if you're anywhere
It's
in
a
that
wonderful
area,
place.
keep a listen to the podcast. If you are, I'll tell you what, if you're anywhere near that area and you'd go see JP do stand-up, please comment and let us know, and we'll make sure to keep you informed because we'd love to see some listeners come out there and support our boy doing
And
stand-up.
I'm going to see my roommate and my best friend for my birthday got me tickets to go see Louis C.K. in Greensboro.
Oh,
dude, I didn't know
on
he was
July
going to
15th.
Greensboro.
Yeah, July 15th.
Can I come?
Yeah, come on, man. I don't know how much tickets are. I didn't look it up, but I mean, he's one of those few people that aren't protesting the state.
Right.
Do you think your
So-
friends will like me?
No, they don't
Probably
like
not,
anybody.
no.
They don't even like me.
Oh, darn.
I had to pay them
Right.
for these
No,
tickets.
I was very surprised that they gave me the money back. That was,
Yeah.
that was nice.
But yeah, I'd love to see Louis C.K., man. He's
I've
freaking
I told
awesome.
my sister. My sister is 36 years old. Okay, she's by no means is she old.
Right.
And I told her, I was like, hey, yeah, they got me tickets to. What'd you get for your birthday? They got me tickets to Louis C.K. Oh,
She doesn't know who he is.
that's the sound that she. I was like, do you not know who that is? No. And I felt like an idiot because I was like, oh, you don't know who Louis C.K. is? But I was like, okay, that's fine because I mean, we have two different lifestyles. So I listen to comedy and.
He's been out for a while.
He's
though.
been
It's not
around
like
for
he's
a while.
New age
Dude,
comedian.
he was, what was he? He wrote, Louis C.K. wrote Pootie Tang.
Are you serious?
Oh,
I'm
no
dead
kidding.
serious.
I never knew that.
He either wrote it or directed it, something, but he
But
was
he was
involved with
involved.
Pootie Tang. Like, that's how long he's been around, dude.
I just love the word Pootie Tang.
What a time, I did he.
What was that? Was that on Scary Movie where it was like you got to return and they need to return their copy of Pootie Tang?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, I'm trying to think. I think we got everything. Again, if you are near the Greensboro area and you would go see, or, if you're in Virginia, it's still not that far of a drive to Greensboro. So
it's a wonderful city.
If you'd go see JP perform live, please comment, and we'd love to get you to come out. I mean, hell, I'll tell you what, if the first person that would comment and say, I'd go see JP, I'll buy you a damn ticket.
Maybe we'll,
not a plane ticket.
Not a plane ticket, no.
Just a ticket to the show.
To get into the Idiot Box.
If you're near Greensboro.
And that's the thing. It's like 2 hours of entertainment for $5. I mean, how can you beat that?
You can't beat that.
Yeah.
No. All right. So, guys, this is a pretty big moment now. Yes, we will be podcasting next week before we take a little break from The Walking Dead. But we won't be talking The Walking Dead or Fear the Walking Dead. So this is the mid-season. I mean, this is it.
It's good because tonight is the Flash. No, tomorrow night is the Flash season finale.
Right.
And
I'm really thinking if you're not too tied up, and I know that you've got a busy schedule. I don't know about you, but I would possibly not mind doing a podcast about Preacher. I don't know if you guys are watching that, but
I'm gonna watch it tonight.
I really
We're
enjoyed
going to see where it goes. I mean, I like the first episode, but we'll see where it goes.
So you're not 100% sold yet?
I'm never 100% sold on anything on the pilot episode because shows
a lot goes
change.
into that pilot.
Understandable.
Like they're doing stuff with that pilot just to get producers and companies to pick it up, right?
Yeah.
So it changes. Like a show, if you go back and watch the pilot episode of, say, The Office.
Okay.
Now, granted, the show was based on a show already done, but if you watch the pilot of The Office compared to season 3, season 4, it's just. It's a completely different show.
No, dude, I agree.
Even in the second season, the characters, everything. So it just takes me a little time to get into a show.
I think it was night and day. Like season 3 to season 4, man, I was already like, this is getting a lot wackier than I want it to be.
You could tell by Steve Carell's hair.
Yeah,
because in the first few seasons, his hair's slicked back, and in the next few seasons, his hair's just like a part down the side.
I mean, there was still a lot of good stuff in The Office, season 4 on through. But after
I forgot that Dwight is in 6 Feet Under.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
A young
Rainn
Dwight.
Wilson.
Yeah.
And Pam's in there, too. Pam doesn't have a big part, but
in 6 Feet Under?
Jennifer.
I can't wait to get back to that.
She dates, what's his name, this little Spanish guy that works with him. When he breaks up with his wife.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Domingo.
Enrico.
I just made up I know nobody else's name, so I made that name.
But also, before I leave that, Kevin McAllister's mom from Home Alone is in that. She's the where Nate and his baby mama.
Her name? Hold on, what's her name?
Live at. She's like a movie producer or something, and they live in her house for a while.
Elizabeth.
Totally forgot that.
Yeah.
Margaret.
I'm like, you ain't got no room to be fussing at Nate for forgetting to leave his car in the driveway. You left your damn kid twice.
A lot of people took off from that show.
Well, the first time she left him at home. The second time they lost him in the airport.
Right, but still, just terrible
parenting. His batteries and his talk boy.
Yeah.
Those are
movies totally
we watch
had one
every Christmas. Home Alone, Home Alone 2, White Christmas.
The Home Alone house just went up for sale.
Oh, really?
The actual house.
I want to go up there and just knock over the little metal guy in front.
Just bump into it.
Well, change, you filthy animal.
Home Alone 3 was my favorite.
Really?
Not a Macaulay Culkin fan.
I've never wanted to punch you in the face.
Oh,
so
my God. Matt, do it.
Secretly, you
pretty little
agree with me.
face.
Do it. I hated anything past
you.
2, pretty much.
I knew the moment that he screamed and then they said, "Uh-oh, he caught his thing in the toilet seat." I was like, I'm done.
Scarlett Johansson was in that, right? Wasn't Scarlett Johansson? She was in one of the Home Alones.
Love to be in Scarlett Johansson. Thank you.
She actually has a nude scene. Did you know that?
Yeah. Beneath the Skin.
Home Alone
Bro,
3?
that's old news. So. Oh, sorry. No. Yeah, but that's a really weird movie. Here's the thing: when a big celebrity that I think I've said this before, if you see a celebrity in a hot female celebrity in a movie, first thing most guys think about is, I wonder what she would look like naked. And
right.
I hope she does a nude scene in a movie. So to be only half the creep that I am, I try to watch the whole movie. So that way I don't just fast forward. I had to watch Black Swan, and that is a weird.
Did you watch
movie.
Nymphomaniac?
No,
that was a weird movie.
That's one of those movies that I just saw bits and pieces. But even then, that's a weird. None of that's even remotely sexy.
It's trying to compare sex to fishing. I mean, and that might be wrong.
But it's Lars von Trier, man, the director guy. He does all this experimental stuff.
Yeah,
and
I liked Black Swan.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, I didn't say it was bad. It was just a really crazy.
The ending
movie.
to that was just out there, man, and it was a pretty cool ending. But yeah, so this is. I mean, what do we do with our lives? I mean,
that's a good question.
Oh man, speaking of Black Swan, I just saw Natalie Portman at the Red Box. I mean, she wasn't getting something out of.
Oh, that'd been awesome.
But no, she was in a straight to DVD movie, and it made me a little sad inside.
Was she wearing did she have ponytails?
It was
pigtails,
actually a French braid.
French. What's the movie called? Do you remember?
Oh no, I was getting it mixed up with the time I actually did meet her. But no, I think it was pigtails. That was a joke, man.
That was good.
Yeah,
No.
you were giggling a little bit. You got it.
I was still caught up on the fact that you saw Natalie Portman at the Red Box.
Yeah.
And then it took me a while to realize that she didn't. I'll let the crowd die down. I'm sorry. Thank you.
But no, that's sad, man. When I see someone with her talent, like in something like straight to DVD, I'm just like,
Well,
man.
She probably, when she did the role, it was probably one of those things that she does. She's at that point in her career where she can do whatever she wants.
I guess.
Because she wants to do it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, next week, tune in to hear us. If you
Talk
like,
about the
if you
same
like,
stuff.
if you like it
Yeah.
when we get off track and talk about random stuff, hey, tune in next week because as our kind of, I won't say farewell because we'll come in a time or two before August and maybe do some predictions or gear up for the big deal. But we'll be taking a few weeks off. So if you want to hear us one last time, spend 30 to 60 minutes talking about any and everything under the sun.
Put some
Yeah.
comments.
We won't know what to talk about.
That's what I'm saying.
you know,
Yeah, comment on this episode.
and give us some subjects.
And give us some subjects to talk about next week. Things you want to hear about, things that you think you heard about that you
Ask
want
us some
to comment
personal
on.
questions. Not too
Yeah.
personal, no doubt. But
It doesn't
you know,
have, whatever personal things you want, whether I answer them truthfully or not, is up to me.
he will answer them.
I will answer them, just not truthfully.
Right.
I don't
And if
want
you guys want to hear a preacher cast, tell us that.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Preachcast.
Yeah.
Preachcast.
That's good. I give this episode a 7.5.
I'll go even further and give it an 8.5.
Of course you will.
I'll fall in the middle and give it an 8.
Oh no, okay, that's cool.
Oh, you're not going to go with stars this time.
I just like being in between you guys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think you
Keeps
know
me
what you
warm.
said. I
It
think
keeps
you
me
know what you
warm.
said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice and warm.
Wait, you know what? I was slow on this, so
I just threw my mouth
JP,
full.
what I want you to do
What should I
is
do?
tell us that you like to be between us one more time.
I like to be sandwiched right in the middle of you fellas. Yeah.
Sorry, I wanted to do that earlier, but I didn't think about it till after. So
I can imagine
We
hearing
got it
that
in.
voice like whispered behind
that's
me. In a dark
that's like
room.
Strand.
We squeezed
No,
it
thank
right
you.
on in there.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's my reaction to oh yeah.
Well, that'll wrap it up for what episode was this? Was it
7, I think.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, episode 7.
We will see you next week for some randomness, and then
Oh,
it'll
it's
be
exciting.
August. So I'm Justin,
I'm Matt.
And I'm JP.
and we'll see you next week.
Hootie hoo.